What's up, people? Welcome to WTF Is. This is the show where we interview people and we ask them weird questions. You can't say the name of the title in the first thing of the video because YouTube will demonetize it in the first minute. Today we have a special guest. Keep your willy in your pants, gentlemen. Let's be respectful. We have MissClick. MissClick, how are you doing?
Hey, Sean, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So, my first question, I feel, is a very important question. Now, you're a woman. What's up with that?
Man, I used to ask myself that question all the time before I came to acceptance with it. So, man, it's great. It's great. Also not great, but great for the
Like,
most part.
I'll be real. I honestly don't feel like I could handle that. Cause like I don't think I could be a woman. I remember one time I put on when I was like 9. I put on my mother's church dress because I thought it was funny, and like
Yeah.
even that was like traumatic, like a thing. Like I still
Why is
remember
that?
that. I mean, kinda.
Maybe it just wasn't your color.
My dad didn't find it funny. My mom found it funny, but my dad he had some questions for me.
Yeah.
So
No, I think you'd do great as a woman.
oh
Yeah, you're all about secure the bag, man. Are you kidding me?
yeah, but like I'm
You'd
too
probably be making more money than you would be right now. Let's
I'm
be real.
I'm too hairy. Oh no, I would be a whore. If I was a woman, I would be a prostitute, stripper with an OnlyFans doing video
Are we
game
past the
streams.
first minute? We're past the first minute,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. We're good. We're
Oh,
good.
okay. Okay.
Honestly, I just do this channel for fun, but it is actually making
Yeah.
money now. I've been making money. I looked in the
Good. I mean, you have
AdSense.
some good stuff on here, so
There's some
yeah, I'm
there's
not
some
surprised.
some bangers on here. Some bangers.
Yeah,
Now,
entertaining to watch.
I have a question though, like a more serious question. Have you ever had like a really bad interaction with a fan face to face? Obviously online,
Yeah,
people can be weirdos, but I feel like
yeah.
face to face you got to have a little bit more balls. Ever had anything like that?
It's interesting because I feel like the more we talk about it, the more emboldened someone will probably get and be like, "I'm gonna be that guy." Please don't.
Well, I
I
mean,
think
if
the
it's at a
only
con or something, like they'd get fucked up,
well,
you know.
yeah, especially if I'm with you guys. It was funny. I was, too many games, like the first convention in so long, and I was telling everybody, all the other guys, I'm kind of like, I don't know how people are gonna be, and like we've never been out together, and John's like, click, no, what's up? Like if anybody says anything to like slight you, like, do you see us? Like we'll be there. They'll regret it.
what's
I was like, John, that's so sweet, man. Like he's great.
what's
But
what's John gonna do? Listen here, buddy. All right, you need to step off and you need to leave.
how many veins are gonna pop out in the arm when he pushes him back? That's intimidating enough as it is.
I would love to see him fight. I would love to see him fight.
I feel like he could throw a few haymakers in there.
Yeah.
Probably pick him up over his head and chuck him.
Yeah, he seems like one of those, like a tackler. I don't think he's much of
Yeah,
a. I
yeah,
don't know though. Maybe since he's been working out. I know when I used to live near him, I
yeah,
and he was just he's a unique dude. He doesn't.
yeah.
We did a 4-hour drive nearly. He never turned on the radio. We
No,
listened
he
to
was
YouTube
podcast or
podcasts.
something.
What the
Yeah,
hell is that,
yeah.
man?
He's very no nonsense, which is I feel like we need people like that in the world. But
Because I'm very
also at the same time,
nonsense.
it's like, man, what is your favorite album? I don't know. Whatever you like. And it's like, no, this is how this works. But going back to the question, I think the only weird interaction that I kind of had at a convention was, and I don't even think he meant to per se. I think he got overly excited. Is this individual, and that's why I'm very limited on physical touch in general, even after the pandemic. He was just hugging so long,
Right.
and it got to the point where like I couldn't breathe. And it's kind of one of those things like you could feel someone like pull away from a hug, and that's like the social cue of like, we're done.
Right.
And if they don't pull away, it's like, oh, we're staying in a hug. But this is very much like 4 or 5 different cues of like, all right, buddy, you got the back pat and everything, and I kind of had to give someone the eye of like, hey. And then they kind of tapped on the back, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, did you want to hug her?" And it's like, "No, he wants to freaking get me free. Like, I'm not giving out. This isn't a hugging booth, bud." But again, I don't even think he knew. It's just some people go to conventions and they don't know. So that's why we do Christian side hugs now, or the fist bump or elbow.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, I would hug a female, like if she was hot and she was a fan. like all
Yeah.
6 of them that are out there, I would hug her. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, there's so many ways to give dap nowadays. You don't even necessarily have to hug them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also have like everything that happened with the pandemic and like no touch. You
Yeah.
can kind of like people who weren't even big on physical touch beforehand. You can, I feel like people can thrive now because of it. Where it's just like, hey, what's up? You know, I'll do that with even like some of my friends at the gym. You know, it's just pretty much like, hey, just a touch, which is fine. But there's nothing wrong with guys hugging. It's kind of cute actually. Especially when you're good buds. So
Okay.
throwing that out there.
Yeah, you won't be. Yeah, I will not. Maybe if I'm drunk. Maybe if I'm drunk, I will.
That works.
Like, I love you,
Dude,
man.
the true you comes out. Are you a lovable drunk?
I am a horny, then pass out drunk. Like, I want to get
Yes.
drunk in like 20 minutes, and then I want to be asleep within an hour. So I have to get everything in. Everything in. Can I get laid really quick? I got to tell someone that they're my best friend, and then I'm going to sleep. Like, that's it. Don't.
That's one of the main reasons why I don't drink in public, because I relate to that. But yeah, no, I get that.
So you live in Florida. We won't say where in Florida, but Florida is a very interesting state because I feel like Florida has many different parts to it, and it's almost like multiple states. It's almost like Texas, where it's like multiple states within one state. Do you live in like a white trash part of Florida? Do you live in the cocaine part of Florida? Do you live in a normal part of Florida?
Yeah, I know. I unfortunately live in the part that everybody's like moving to right now.
Tourists.
So we got. It's not even just the tourists, man. It's all the people that like. Pardon my French. Fucked up their own states, so they're all coming to our state now.
Right.
And then my state's gonna get messed up. Like, bro, it's bad. But yeah, you do have the different regions. Usually, it's like the more north you get in Florida, the more south it feels.
Right.
And then like in the middle strip, anywhere from Tampa to Orlando, kind of along that midline, is going to be more of your metro feel, and that's going to feel a lot more, modern. And there's going to be a lot of construction for some tourism parts, but other than that, it's definitely like people are just so busy to get where they're going. They're not necessarily going to mess with you too much. But it's great. And then Miami is just like a hot mess. And I think actually now is like the most expensive place to live. So
Really?
I don't recommend it. Traffic is horrible, but the beach is nice. But I will say the beach over in Tampa, Clearwater area is way nicer. And people realize that, and now they're moving here. And now every time I see a non-Florida license plate, I'm just like fuming. I can't handle it now. They're ruining my state. Get out.
So you prefer the Gulf side of the ocean?
Definitely.
Okay, because I've been on both. I've been Destin Beach.
Okay, yeah.
I've been
That's a quiet
there.
one. That's nice, yeah.
I've been there, and then Daytona. I've been there. So both sides of the coin, if you will. I don't hate Florida. I couldn't live there though because it's way too hot. I sweat when it's like 40 degrees outside, and like I feel like I would die there.
Yeah, you probably would get over it real quick. I think today was one of the first days it was back up in the mid 90s, and I was like, man, I don't miss this. But also at the same time, it's just got so many like plus trade-offs. It's just like, I'll just stay inside. So. Well,
there's no state income tax there, right?
Nope.
That's
all because
nice.
Of the tourists, So.
That's very nice.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I know it's a little bit different for creators and stuff. My cat is scratching the window. What are you doing? Get out. Sorry, I'm shooting my cat on stream.
I saw you.
No, it's the fact that so many people are moving here though. Like all the rent, like so many locals are getting evicted and whatnot. It's kind of sad because the pandemic stuff is lifting, and I think rent is shooting up anywhere from like 30 to 50% in some places. It's bad. So well, now I just tell people like we're crazy. We ride gators. Like it's bad. Don't come here. Everybody's wearing wife beaters and fighting in the streets.
Confederate flags. Just stay away from me.
Anything bad that you don't like, I'm just gonna say yes to it, kind of thing. Because I'm tired of people moving here.
Do you ever go to Jacksonville?
I have not been to Jacksonville, which is crazy because there's so many Floridians like that just constantly trash on Jacksonville. Well, it's like one of the trashiest places.
Well, yeah, because I've been watching. this is what I do when I can't, because people are like, oh, what gaming channels do you watch on YouTube? I don't watch any fucking gaming channels. Even my friends, I rarely watch them because
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
you're
don't
tired of
want,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird to me. So I watch
Yeah.
stuff like rap beefs and like the Jacksonville rap beefs right now. Like I'm talking like dozens of bodies on like there's two different sides. One side is this dude named Fulio, and like I forget the other dude's ATK maybe or something like that is the other dude's side. And it's a fucking war zone. Like this dude went down there and was just like hanging out at a gas station, like interviewing kids and shit. And the kids were like, yeah, we don't go here because we ain't trying to get shot and all this shit. I'm like, God damn, fucking
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah,
Wild
no,
then.
Jacksonville is definitely rough. If there are a few places I recommend people to move, it's usually going to be part of that metro area, or there are like very not rural areas, but new development areas that are you know, being built. But now I just don't tell anybody to move here because it's like anybody that's like, yo, let's solve Florida from the U.S. I'm just like, do it, please.
Right.
Let me have my solitude. I'm
Well, see-
good. You're happy. I'm happy. We're good.
My mom lives and my stepdad live in Florida. They live in two different parts of Florida though.
Okay.
My mom stays near Orlando. My stepdad stays near Daytona. So like they're always telling me, you know, stuff. But you know, even those two areas are just like completely different than each other. So it's fascinating. I live in a small stinky state where, I mean, you could drive
Have you lived there
through.
most of your life?
No, I lived in North Carolina most of my life, and
Oh,
it
okay.
was I had to leave. Like it was so bad, I couldn't stand it anymore. I was like, all my friends are dead or in jail or married. I got nothing going. What the fuck am I still here for? Like I'd moved there
Yeah.
in like towards the end of middle school with my
Okay.
family, and then they ended up leaving, and I just stayed there forever. And I was like, fuck this, I gotta get out because of the heat. That's the amazing heat and mosquitoes and bugs, and you'd go outside. I didn't fucking live in the woods, but like I'd open my door, there'd be like a big ass black snake outside. I'd be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, dude.
So now it's peaceful where you're at now?
Yeah, it's cold, so like you
Okay.
just see like hawks and stuff.
Okay.
Hawks are
Cool
cool
shit.
though. Yeah,
Yeah,
hawks are
agree.
cool. But you got the snow, but I don't mind the snow. I just look out the window. I'm like, oh, it's snowing, and then I go
Just
do
order
something.
food in.
Oh God, I fucking prepare. I get like if there's a big storm coming, I'll get like a bunch of Subway sandwiches because those will last a little bit, and like a couple pizzas and shit.
There you go. I
So
don't know if I can handle snow, man. I don't know.
it's not bad. It depends where you are because when it would snow in North Carolina, you'd get like an inch, and like the state shuts down. But if you're in the Northeast, it's completely different because they have plows. You know, they're prepared for it. That's what some of your
I
tax
just feel
money
like
go
my
towards.
I feel like my Florida ass would just like find every spot of black ice and just
Well, see, you don't really
ruin
get.
my car, ruin someone else's thing. Like I don't know.
I think we only had one thing of ice this winter, and it was just
Okay.
overnight. And so, like, if you were out in it, like, yeah, you might die or something, but you know, maybe not. I remember my aunt got like stuck, and my uncle had to go pick her up when she was driving home from work because she was working the overnight shift at the hospital. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
Okay.
So some of your video game takes and the franchises that you haven't played, they seem to get a lot of probably mid-30 and up year old men kind of up in a tizzy. Do you enjoy that? Because I would thoroughly enjoy that.
What, getting people in a tizzy?
Yeah.
You mean like when it's saying like I haven't played a series?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so if you're like oh yeah, well like Metal Gear Solid, you're like, oh yeah, I never played Metal Gear Solid. Like the comments in the Spawn cast was like, this fucking whore, how she never played it? And it's like, and people haven't played certain games, it's not.
Yeah, you know, it's. Well, I mean, I think it is a little crazy. You know, if to me, it's just like, bro, if you got to play all of these games growing up, like I am so happy for you. I am so happy for you. You know, just unfortunately that just wasn't my case. So I know for them it comes from a standpoint of, you know, a little bit of their small personal bubble. I kind of feel sad for them because it's like, you know, not everybody had money or resources or, you know, like for me, just it was my personal bubble of not everybody had varying consoles. We had like GameCubes, PlayStation 2, and a Nintendo 64. Not much outside of that. Even like with the consoles we had, like everybody had like 3 or 4 games, just because
Right.
it wasn't like, unless you had a really cool parent that like bought you things that they knew you were interested in. A lot of our parents, to be honest, kind of like, if they, my parents didn't have the money. My friends' parents, like, they didn't really give a shit. Like, they didn't care what their kids were into. They kind of like made their kids care about other things.
Right.
And like games were like a waste of time, and they were, you know, it was pretty sad like looking back at it. So when people get mad, it's just like, you know, if you got to play those games, that's awesome. All I can hope is that, you know, if it's really gonna bother you, just leave me alone. But if you'd like to see someone experience one of your favorite series for the first time ever, and like I love seeing people play like a Zelda game for the first time. I'll be like, whoa, you haven't played Zelda. I love it when I see new people play it, because I want to see their reactions and their genuine thoughts, especially over a game that's aged after so long. So I don't know. It's definitely something that maybe I could capitalize on more, and definitely kind of like make that money off of the anger. But I can't. I have very little fucks to give at this point
The thing
in my
that
life. So
the thing that makes me confused about it is, it's not like you're trying. It's not like you're going on there and like making a video about Metal Gear Solid without knowing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
your
yeah.
content is indicative of what you play and what you
Mhm.
grew up playing and stuff. And it's not like
Sure.
you're out there trying to get a piece of that pie, which
Mhm.
so many motherfuckers do on
They do.
YouTube and Twitch and
1000%.
shit, where they just
Mhm.
read a fucking Wikipedia and then they try to act knowledgeable. One day I'll drop names if they ever really piss me off. But yeah, even some of your favorite fucking YouTubers that you suck
Yeah.
their dicks, they fucking, they don't know shit about games and shit. You know, they get exposed. So my final thing is, you do Twitch instead of
Yeah.
YouTube. Obviously that's your primary thing.
Mhm.
Why do you like Twitch better?
You know, it would be probably more popular to do the YouTube side, just because there's more people on YouTube. Let's be real. Twitch is just, I don't know, I'm gonna lose a lot of people here. It's just more enjoyable for, you know, the streamer and the moderator teams, which is very important. It's a different vibe on Twitch. Like, people kind of understand that you can't just like call someone horrible names and like just expect it to kind of, you know, free flow. You know, Spawncast chat is always very interesting, and I know we have to mod, but most of the time it's Evan modding a lot of stuff. And Evan is one of the most like chill people ever, and he's just like, bro, I'm so over chat tonight. Like, they're just a mess. And so even when you get on people's nerves like Evan, it kind of does, you know, transfer over into other live streams, regardless of what channel it is. And YouTube, it's like, yeah, I could do it probably for the quantity of numbers, but Twitch, it's, for me, it really is the quality. And also I love the fact of how they cultivate community among streamers. They allow you to send your streams over to other people. They allow you to interact with each other. You know, they have different extensions. All YouTube really has to do is try. If YouTube tried to compete with Twitch and had everything that Twitch has and more, I would switch 1000%. But Twitch to me is just it's just so much more enjoyable, and it kind of is. I'm not loyal to any brand, or like I never really have like a pride in something. I don't have like a sports team or college that I really care about. Like, Twitch is great, but they're a greedy corporation at the end of the day. So
Oh, they all are.
yeah, it's just kind of like, you know, even, you know, like console wars, people are like, oh, this or that. I'm just like, bro, they don't care, you know. So for me, it's like, Twitch is great. But if someone wants to come along and invest more into the streamer user experience, I'm all for it.
Let's see, because I've heard that. I've had people tell me, even like friends of mine who do both. They say that Twitch is a lot easier on your mental than YouTube is, because people on Twitch just in general seem to be like nicer to people and stuff like that. And, you know,
Yeah.
people handle things completely different than other people would.
Sure.
So I think Twitch would kind of scare me, just because of like how perky and chirpy it is. I'd be like, what did I miss something
Yeah,
here?
I don't know, man. Like, you have to remember, that's also the site that's got like freaking hot tub streams and shit like that.
I wish
so
I could do that.
Depends
Yeah.
on what kind of
Could you
perky
imagine?
get.
You're making thousands of dollars just sitting there waiting in like a body of water. If I could do that, dude, fuck my life. That's all I would do.
There are some guys that made a hot penny from doing that themselves. You know,
I would have
they
to
did the exact same thing just as they were, and people ate it up.
I would have to tap into the bear community, the gay bear community on Twitch, because all this, dude, like, you know, I'm not shaving it. That's how you get an ingrown hair, and then that shit hurts.
That's true. That's very true. I don't think a lot of people know that.
So if there's a segment on Twitch for topless hairy men and men who like that, because women aren't gonna, that's the thing, women aren't spending that money. It's probably dudes that are spending the money, because the dudes are watching the chicks, because dudes are fucked in the head and we're always horny. So, you know,
You said it, not me.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah,
all right,
no,
so
you're not.
one more question here.
Yeah.
You ever done cocaine?
No, bro. I
Nope.
did edibles once and it almost ruined me. I'm never.
That's the
I don't
hardest
do-
you've gone.
Yeah, I went to like Colorado for a week a couple years ago, and everybody I was with, they're like, "Well, it's legal here, so let's, you know, we're not gonna get in trouble." Bro, no, absolutely not. I cannot handle substance. Alcohol is about as bad as I will get. And even then, like, alcohol is just great for me. But I'll have like one in a public setting. But if I'm like in a close, intimate setting with people or someone that I want to be with, that's a different story.
You get drunk as shit.
Huh?
Drink the whole bottle in front of them. You don't care.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. I've been told I hold alcohol better than I would look. So I think that's a compliment. I don't know. I'm definitely one of those people though, like if we're doing like a drinking game or something like that, I don't like, they'll try to cut me off at a certain point and be like, yo, you're fine. Like you're good. You're a small person. I'm like, no, I don't need your pity out. La, la, la. And then, you know, of course I regret it the next day, but alcohol is probably as bad as I need it. So no cocaine.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, this has been a very enjoyable chat. This is MissClick. You can find her on the Twitch. She's on the YouTube. She's also on the Spawncast. Thank you for coming on here and dealing with me for 20 minutes. I sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
No problem. Later.